Welcome back to the Block Runner Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto. Today we have a returning guest because of our great conversation with Maddie from DCLblogger.com. Here are the topics we'll be discussing today. Our guest discusses his background with game development, which leads into what we're developing for Decentraland. We get into details on plans for development in Decentraland, then we get into some philosophical questions about AI and automation. Finally, we discuss what Facebook is doing with the Libra token. I hope you enjoy. Let's listen in. Welcome back. You're listening to the Block Runner Podcast.
Yeah.
I am your host, William, and as always, your co-host, Iman, is with me.
What I do.
And today with a special guest is Oscar Gomez, founder of Member Life. He is joining us today to discuss, what do you know, Decentraland.
Yeah, we got him hooked.
Yeah, Oscar is a developer. Obviously, he built his own company with his coding skills. Mm-hmm. And once he listened to the podcast with Maddie B, well, actually not Maddie B.
What does he go by? DCL Blogger?
DCL Blogger, yeah, from Maddie.
He said Maddie B. Isn't that little fucking rapper kid?
Sounds like a cool character.
That's great.
No, Maddie's great. We had a conversation with him for about an hour and a half on the last podcast, and he told us all the details about Decentraland that we had no idea about. And so that conversation kind of sparked Oscar's ability to code.
And I don't think he's the only one, because like after that, what was it, podcast 9 or something, when we first found out of it, Decentraland, I spent like that whole week
for sure
grinding YouTube videos trying to find out more about this shit. And dude, like nothing is, I think, as detailed as like what we went through the last episode of podcast. Like we went through pretty much all the good shit, I feel like, with Maddie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
so,
listening to that podcast.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
It was interesting enough for me to go look into it further.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Oscar's a busy guy. I mean, he doesn't spend time on anything unless he believes in it. So
that true? Like,
yeah, it's rare that I go on another project other than the business.
This is potentially taking money out of your pocket.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? 'Cause you're not working on your main shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you really must have seen something.
Yeah, I looked up. I researched more into Decentraland, and then I looked at the code, the SDK that they provide, and it was clean enough where I could run something pretty easily. Mm-hmm. And then once I ran something, I sent it to Will here, and it was good enough for me to keep going. And I wanted to just spend one day out of the week on it, but it's taken out my weekend so far. So
exactly right. I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon, dude. I don't know.
yeah, so now we're getting into developing something for our own plot of land in Decentraland.
Yeah,
and this little something is going to be a little game that hopefully people would enjoy playing.
At first, I just speculatively bought a piece of land that I thought would hold value or increase in value, just because off of the parameters I've learned so far is like what dictates value in this world. Being close to the center plaza, main roads, we don't know whether or not there's going to be teleportation or flying and stuff in this world. So I just assume once you spawn, there's going to be a lot of characters walking up and down these main roads.
Yeah.
So I just bought a plot, and then it's evolved way past speculation at this point. We're actually going to participate in this, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Really cool.
And so, Oscar, you want to tell Iman kind of your previous history with Minecraft? Tell that little story.
Minecraft? You have history with Minecraft?
yeah, so I started my career as a self-taught software engineer. So I was
like, about what age did you start?
Around 7th grade. So
how old were we? That's like 11 or 12, right?
7th grade. You were
about 12, 13 or something.
Yeah,
I made a couple games, or simple games, for the TI-83 Plus
calculator.
Yeah, the calculator. Yeah. So that's what got me to. I think it teaches, like, you learn basic to code on there initially, and then you can get into deeper languages that are super crazy beyond basic. So from there, I went to, actually over the summer took a math class so I can, once I got to high school, take computer science, which is about programming and everything. But I took it, and they didn't allow me to take computer science my freshman year in high school. So screw them. I finally got to computer science, and started making games like after the first semester, which is like half of a semester in a college class. So pretty quickly I got into games, and soon after that, maybe like a year or two after that, Android or Java development at that time was all like for games was all on one forum, and on that forum was Notch, the creator of Minecraft.
You said forum?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, so like everybody who's learning this scripting language or whatever, this Java language to make games, pretty much. Yep. There was a big forum for them.
Yeah, for Java programming language.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I was on there, showing off my stuff, which was pretty legit. So legit enough that Notch like gave me some pointers on how to not be a noob coder. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
He ran my game, and he opened up the source code like
fucking Morpheus.
Yeah, exactly. And saw many flaws, and he was like, "Yeah, you should put your database password in your source code." And so I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's a noob move."
Dude, that's one hell of a mentor, dude. What the fuck? Who the hell could say that?
Yeah,
like they fucking had.
And at that time, he was working on Minecraft.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I saw the very early stages of it, like when it was being built, and it was super cool. And
you were a gamer too at the time, right?
Yeah,
like you were playing video games.
Yeah, my career continued with development in games. Yeah, and I released Android is developed in Java, so I released a game, and it has like 1.5 million downloads at the time, and it paid for a rent for a couple months.
Check that out. 1.5 million downloads for a game that he created.
Was it free?
On the app,
was it free
on
game?
the Android. Yeah, it was free. It had
so how
ads,
did you make
and there was a paid version.
I sound like that fucking congressman. How did you how did you make money off Facebook? It's like we ran ads. Like what? Oh, mind's blown.
Yeah, so it was a good run.
That's cool. Damn. How old are you? You're still in high school?
In that time, I think I was barely beginning university. So I was out of high school, and yeah, I moved out.
So you taught yourself all this stuff. Obviously, you didn't learn this in high school.
This game that I created, paid for the rent for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then I got distracted with entrepreneurship back in the college, so in the university.
So I think no, it was just the interaction between Oscar and Notch.
Oh yeah. He helped me out whenever he was creating his game.
Yeah, I mean Notch obviously ended up selling Minecraft to Microsoft for $2 billion or whatever it was.
That's true. If nobody even knows what Minecraft is, like living under a rock, right? Yeah. Minecraft's like the biggest game.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest game sold.
I would feel like because every kid in the world grew up on that shit pretty much. If you had a kid in the last 8 to 9 years or something, they grew up playing Minecraft, Yeah,
and the thing is that Oscar, I mean, when I saw Oscar playing, I was like, dude, what are you doing, man? Yeah. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, because it feels like a step back 20 years, right? As far as graphics goes and gameplay. Yeah, but because I think the thing was so revolutionary about it was the open sandbox world.
Yeah, and you can build in it. Yeah.
Exactly. Right? Your creativity is like...
Yeah, it's like Legos, but virtual.
Legos. It's like actual... You can let your creativity flourish. Like the whole objective of the game is to mine resources, right? Or you collect resources from the world that he created, and then you build whatever you want with it, right?
Yeah, modify the world however you want,
which has direct correlations.
And then your friends can come and visit what you created.
Yeah.
So after a few days, after talking to Maddie from DCLblogger.com, which you should always go and visit his site and his YouTube channel. It's awesome. After talking to him, I was explaining to Oscar, what is Decentraland? And of course, as anything new, people tend to blow anything new off, right? They don't really understand what it is. They don't understand why people are into this new thing. And so once Oscar listened to the podcast between us and Maddie, he was like, oh shit, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. When Will initially let me know about it, my thoughts were like, yeah, it's cool if the developers are able to pull it off. So, but once I looked at the code and everything and how far along they are, I was impressed enough where I ran the code and I sent William an early stage build.
I think within a couple of days after telling him about Decentraland, he sent us a link which let us play a game that he developed for this platform.
Mm-hmm. I saw it too. Yeah, it was good shit. Like I said, I was not expecting, because everything I saw up until that point were pretty much like scenes.
You can't interact with them.
Nah, like they even had a Decentraland hosted a competition I think 2 or 3 months ago where it was a scene builder basically with their their own platform. What would you call that? It's just a building platform, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the SDK kit.
Right, correct. It's a very specific
It's like
creator platform.
like playing the Sims, basically.
Yeah,
with
for
like,
eventually you'll be able to upload what you create into your land.
Yeah, but it's like a drag and drop from like a pre-selected menu of objects, pretty much. And I saw that, which is cool. It's nice to see like people get real creative with like designs. But then I saw him. He has like an actual interactive world where you can actually jump over shit and shit's moving around, and you know there's stuff to obstacles to avoid. Felt it's a game.
Yeah, yeah.
It's everything Maddie told us about, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a high score kind of mechanic for the game. So, so we'll probably let it release for the public just to get some feedback in our Discord. Or
well, our goal is what by beta.
Oh yeah, by beta you should be able to go to our plot and land and play this game.
Yeah.
So
and we'll shield the fuck out of it for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's an endless runner. So
it's you know the name of the podcast is the Block Runner, and we just so happen to create a game about running blocks,
like running over blocks, through blocks, run on top of blocks. Yeah. We're not done yet, I don't think.
Yeah, early stages.
It's still pretty early. I think we got like a few weeks left before the beta launches, but still.
It's basically week 1, but by the time the beta launches, we'll have something that's deployable.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the goal is to like, we want to be in there.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's cool about Decentraland is that you can tie directly into blockchain. So we'll hopefully be charging, you know, to play the game, or at least to have the ability to go on the high scores, just like a normal arcade.
Yeah, and you'll win like trophies that you can display on your avatar, and you'll be able to walk around with this trophy that, you know. So
we'll be dabbling into the NFT realm too.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
Which is an endless realm. It's all up to how creative you are and stuff.
Yeah. We'll look into how far we can take the prizes and see if we can give out some mana to the top high scores based on after 2 weeks of gameplay or whatever we figure out.
And right now we have one parcel, and we're looking to get more, depending on, you know, where it is. Maybe that one parcel that we have, since it's such in a good location, it can teleport you to the real game. Mm-hmm. But we'll see how we do it.
Yeah, we got to hit up Matty.
Yeah.
He's got some good
he's got
Matty's got
land.
a hella land, dude. Like, I was looking for land for sale, and he's like all over the place, dude.
Yeah, he's one of the first people that we should get him to beta test our and see what he thinks about it. Maybe he wants to like partner up in some format.
Oh, definitely. Matty's definitely going to have the link first.
Shout out to Matty. What's his shout out? His
DCLblogger.com, and then his Twitter's at DCLblogger.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about Decentraland, in case you missed the last one.
That was our main source. Really.
He's the one. Like I call him like Decentraland Wizard. I should call him like Decentraland Jesus. Like just like they call Roger Ver Bitcoin Jesus. Yeah. Like, I think he's earned that title.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw him that he on the Decentraland Discord. He's pretty active on it. So he's gung ho for sure. And what's cool, I posted a question on the developers channel inside of the Discord for Decentraland, and they respond. It was like what, Saturday I asked the question, and now it's Sunday, and they responded. So yeah.
They're pretty active. That's good. That's good for
a weekend
investment standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So, you think like what is your overall perspective of Decentraland though? Like as a project as a whole, not so much on what you're doing on it.
Initially, I was worried that like, yeah, if you have multiple properties and you're running their content, their whatever they build on the property, like it gets in software intensive, so it gets like you have to have a good computer to be able to run that. So, but after I ran the test code and ran a couple demos and sent off this one to Will, this build that I created, I could see that it's possible that you'll be able to run like maybe 10 surrounding properties as you're walking. They'll
like
just
your
keep
field
loading.
of view, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be able to see, maybe 2 or 3 plots deep into the distance. Mm-hmm. So that should be good enough. And then we're basically for them to launch and see where it goes. But yeah, later this month, supposedly they'll be launching the beta, and you'll be able to walk around.
Do you think beyond your field of vision is just going to be like fog, like we used to have in the old Xbox days and Nintendo 64?
Yeah, low tier graphic days, pretty much.
I think so. That. I mean, that'd be the easiest way to solve that like off the distance problem.
Yeah.
And I think there's some videos out there of like, these media personnel like playing games, and they show like some some in-game.
Yeah, I've seen that, but it's been like what you've built, but kind of more trees and grass.
Yep.
But you can't really interact like you can in your game.
Yeah, there's very few interactions from what I saw.
I mean, there's like stuff on display pretty much. Like I saw something of like a skeleton king looking character and like just like a single parcel. It's just literally just.
It's like a statue,
but it moves around.
No, it does move around.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think it does anything. Like you can't. I don't know if you can fight it or something. I doubt it. But it's just like something cool to look at, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a demo. You can run that scene, and you walk in front of it, and it like yells at you. And I think that's about it.
I'll pay for that. It's like I like punishment, just yell at me.
And that's the thing with Decentraland is that you're not going into Decentraland to see what the original creators of Decentraland are doing to the game. It's really a user created type of world. Mm-hmm. And so it's really up to all the developers to come up with something cool to put on the land and do something with it.
Yeah, and that was the second concern. It's really hard to tell how many developers are actively working on some stuff. So either we're the early on,
we're going to be the only ones,
or people trying to be more secret or discreet about their creations, right? They don't want, because it's so early, like anything can, and it's open. Is it open source? Like
no, it's not open. Well, I guess it is.
Like when you publish your thing,
your
where does it go?
Your content, just like a website, it's accessible by almost anybody or by anybody.
Because
so that you can, if you have content that's on your website that you don't want people to see, then you shouldn't put it on your website. So it's very similar.
Okay. Because I hear open source all the time. Cryptocurrency in general, blockchain projects are always open source. I hear. That means what? That means like your code is out there. Kind of like this whole movement, this whole cryptocurrency movement, it encourages like groupthink, right? Like cooperation, something like Vitalik. I don't think he cares if anybody steals Ethereum's code.
Oh yeah,
and improves on it. Like all these layer 2 or layer 1 projects that are coming out. Pretty much that's what they do, right? They just took Vitalik's code and they just built on top of it.
That's right.
Creating their projects.
And really, that's how they deploy their own test nets for.
Yeah.
So they take the code, they modify it, they run their modified code on the test net, and then that's how they test what they created.
But that's not something that's really goes down in today's world, right? Tech world.
Well, open source has been around for a while, and so a lot of that kind of community is now coming over to crypto.
Yeah, exactly. Because now tech nowadays is like that's their secret sauce. If you're starting a tech company, you don't want nobody finding out like how you're doing your shit, right? That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's where your money's made, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the classic format, and open source, is against kind of that format where it's not the content that you create that's what that holds value. It's the fact that you're improving on that content. So if you stop, improving on your content, then becomes static, and people could take it over and do something with it, but the value comes from you, the creators, the community that are modifying this content.
Sort of like Wikipedia.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The first version of Wikipedia,
Yeah. It was empty. And then people who are knowledgeable about subjects, they just write the page.
Create the content.
Yep. Create content. Yep.
But as far as altering Wikipedia though, like somebody couldn't just go in and change like the whole look of it, could they?
Not the look of it. So it's like a template.
Yeah, so it's not truly open source then. Like
it could be. I mean,
I'm kind of like trying to transition into like what is a DApp in a way.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got Oscar here now. Like, what do you think? I'm always like, in my idea, DApp, a decentralized application, is like someone like you comes along, comes up with like this decentralized app idea. You create it, you launch it. And my thinking is you get the fuck out. You stop working on it, and like it's up to the community to take it where it goes.
Yeah, if it's exactly what you're saying, as long as he puts up the source code, because you can just release the application itself, and you could disappear, but nobody could improve on it. But if you release a source code, that client exists, as a separate part of the source code, meaning it runs the source code, but they'll be able to improve it from there, as long as the source code is available. Yeah. So you could disappear, and the community will revolve around it and find value in improving it. And
essentially, a DApp is an application that runs on your computer and doesn't depend on a server.
Not just your computer though, right?
Not just my computer. So
because you want it to be decentralized.
Yeah, it's a peer-to-peer application. So the most famous one is BitTorrent.
Yeah.
And that I can share files to anybody who has BitTorrent and who wants to download that said file. And so you're not relying on a server to host that file for you and people connect to that server, because then you can shut down that server.
That's a single point of failure problem, pretty much. That's what you're trying. That's what the whole DApp movement's about, right?
That's right.
Why EOS is coming up with the Voice, whatever. They will decentralize Twitter.
Yeah. So it's really, the Voice is going to be a peer-to-peer communications app. So as long as the application is running on your computer and you have internet access, then you're directly communicating to the person who you're trying to talk to, instead of communicating to a server who everyone has access to that server.
Interesting. Okay. I think I kind of understand it better now.
Yeah. So in that world, in the DApp world, there's nothing really to shut down. That's really the main point. Now, you can have servers in a decentralized app. It's just, even if you shut down that server, it doesn't really stop the service. It may stop, a news service, right? Because maybe that server is hosting the news for crypto. But and if they, the government shuts that down, then you just won't have news on the app
for like a short amount of time. I'm assuming something else can pick it up.
Something will spin it up. Somebody else who has a source code will spin it up.
Interesting. Wow.
And so servers are not entirely a bad thing. I mean, we've built servers for the last 80 years or so, 70 years. And they have a purpose. It's just the bad part is moving the critical components of an application onto your local computer.
Well, not necessarily local computer. It could just be could be like a big server farm, right? But they're spread out.
Yeah, you could do that.
Distributed servers. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as it's not controlled by like a single entity.
Correct.
Is the thing. That's what this whole.
And there's always going to be a debate. As long as you could argue that something on a server is decentralized, meaning it's on several servers, where even if you shut down one server, you still have access to the application. That's decentralized. But some would argue that it's not decentralized because it exists on 6 servers instead of 30 servers. So there's always that spectrum of decentrality.
So, Oscar, you as an app developer or programmer in general, do you see any value in this like decentralized concept?
Oh yeah, it's definitely anything that you want to develop that you want the capability of it existing for as long as possible. Yeah. And that's the best way to create it, where it's open source ideally and decentralized, where there's not one entity that could take it down or one government that could take it down. So yeah, having currency or assets that reside on a system and platform like that, then that's definitely the ideal situation.
But the benefit you get right now of like building on something that's centralized, like let's say Android or whatever, is the audience or whatever. You're gonna get way more exposure by building on their platform, right? Yeah,
that's what companies revolve around. Building up that, basically them spending their own social advertising dollars to acquire people, and then that attracts the developers to create content for those platforms.
So that's the thing. Like how are these dApps going to get exposure without like giant marketing conglomerates behind them, billions of dollars funneled into
Will, have you ever seen a BitTorrent commercial ad?
No.
Yeah, that's how. Word of mouth.
True. The value that the DApp provides, I guess.
Pretty much. Why is BitTorrent so popular? Because it's like the only one, right?
Well, it's not the only one. It's just a very popular peer-to-peer sharing network.
Yeah.
What's it competing against?
Kazaa.
A centralized version.
I don't think that's centralized.
Yeah, because the whole purpose of it is like not legal,
sharing
right?
files, basically.
Shit.
Yeah.
File sharing. Yeah.
No wonder. Okay. Well, shit, man. So Decentraland, back to that. I don't know how I got off on that tangent.
Well, it was a decentralized application. So
Decentraland pretty much is?
Well, Decentraland...
Well, it's building the backbone for a bunch of dApps pretty much.
So, Oscar, you looked at the code. Do you see it being hosted by a central company for the game where people have access to the game, or do you see something else?
Yeah, it's a good question. The way I understood it is that the company is going to host like I don't know how deep the decentralization goes, but I know there will be servers that run the player locations, so you can see each other in whatever property that's running, and these properties that are running, these whatever's built on top, those will be able to, retrieve positions, and you can do interactions based on the information that the Decentraland provides. So, but in terms of like, can somebody else run Decentraland? I'm pretty sure they provide that, where you can run the main
it would
servers.
make sense. I mean, you don't really need a decentralized server for a game. I mean, you don't need to decentralize the land, the engine
of the game.
Or there's no need to.
Maddie said it's not a game. It's just
It's a platform.
The platform, the engine of the platform.
In Decentraland, it has a content server where all the files for all the lands are going to reside, and somewhere it said like that you can be a host for that content server.
Because why? Because like, what's the value in hacking that? Right? Like,
there's no value.
All it is just skins in a virtual world, right? The value comes from the assets themselves.
That's right. Which are all on the blockchain and are owned by individuals.
Yeah, like when I played World of Warcraft, tons of Chinese hackers. The only reason they hacked my account 3 times, by the way, my account got hacked 3 times, even with a fucking authenticator still got hacked.
2-factor?
The reason why they hacked me wasn't like they didn't want to like play dress up or anything like that. Yeah. They wanted to steal my gold. Because the gold was worth real money, worth cash. So they sold all my clothes that I spent thousands of hours acquiring for like pennies on the dollar, basically, as far as like real world value goes, for how much sweat equity I put into it. Yeah. Just for gold. And they sent all that gold to their, offshore accounts. Right. So I understand why there was an incentive for them to hack that game in particular.
So they sold, so how'd they sell it? They had to go to some black market to sell.
No, what, my gear?
Yeah, your gear.
No, it's like auction value or vendor value. Like
I see. So they went to like the in-game
NPC vendor
and they sold the stuff. Okay.
For like shit.
Of course. What a vendor would give you.
I could have sold my whole account, probably for like a couple $1,000 because of like the value the perceived value of like the amount of time I put into that character. Sure. I could have sold it on eBay or Craigslist or something like that to somebody.
You sell your password to that account.
So they become my character, right?
That's
so they have all my high level items or gear, so they could do like high end game content in the game and stuff, which takes hours to be able to do. But instead, this Chinese dude hacked my account, sold everything for like 20 gold, which to him is like nothing, but he did it anyways because he's a soulless bastard.
But he did it just to troll you, or did he get money out of it?
Of course he got money. That's what I'm saying. Because the gold. Because they hoard all this gold. They have Chinese gold farmers in that game. Literally, they sit there, kill NPCs, collecting gold. Yeah. And they send it to their accounts. Or they hack other people's accounts, steal their gold and all their loot. Yeah. And they send it to their accounts. And then they sell it on their website for people who are too lazy to get the gold in game. Right. It's like, I'll give you $100. You give me 5,000 gold. Right. It was a business. Interesting. It was a business. It was an economy, So that's that's why they have the incentive to hack the game, because it's just for that gold.
Yeah, and in this case, in Decentraland, I mean, you'll be able to control your character, but I mean, as long as you have the private keys on your ledger or your other hardware wallet,
that's the whole point, right? Security. That's the whole point of blockchain. Yep. Like that shouldn't happen if the blockchain, these games, underlying blockchain beneath these games or above, I don't know.
Yeah, beneath.
However you want to say it. If they're truly decentralized and secure and all that stuff, that's not going to happen. Yeah. That's why these assets hold real value,
And so that's cool. I mean, I think,
and by the way, that was the whole reason Vitalik created Ethereum, apparently, because his World of Warcraft account got hacked. He said, fuck this, dude. It's like, he wanted to make it decentralized. Wow. For real. I didn't just make that up.
So that's interesting. And so in Decentraland, so we have other ideas for the game as well. So another one they haven't heard, man, we were thinking about this earlier today. And if we could create like an orb, think of an orb, right? And you go and you click on that orb, and it'll tell you your future. Okay. Yeah. Like you can click on options like I want to see what my career future is going to look like. I want to see what my love future is going to look like.
Kind of like a psychic.
Yeah, like a psychic, exactly. But you can make it looking really cool because you're in a virtual world, right? So
of course, and it's an orb. You know, orb's already cool enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a floating orb. Yeah.
And so obviously you can't do this with in-game assets. You have to build this whole thing on your own. And so that's another thing that we can put on the plot of land that, we could monetize potentially.
Oh yeah, dude. The possibilities are endless.
And we can
insane.
And we can have it updated kind of like on a real-time basis, connected to like tarot readings or horoscope readings. All that stuff could be updated on a weekly basis. So people have an incentive.
It could be a legit psychic like on the other line every time you like poke the bubble.
Oh yeah.
There's actually like a psychic receiving these pokes. And like you could speak into the mic and then you're like communicating with an actual psychic. It's a way for a local psychic to reach globally,
I think in the game you want to minimize dependency on humans. So
why?
We would deploy like an AI.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
like a chatbot.
You mean
a chatbot?
You mean like from a developer's perspective?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to
you don't want to
out some extra middleman. Like kick them out.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
You just load up the database with a whole bunch of responses and they could choose the right one for the person.
Yeah, because like
it'll ask you like some basic questions like where were you born, and then it'll tell you something about yourself.
I see.
The cool thing, going back to Decentraland, specifically, and these things that would be running on the properties, is that whatever we create, the long term, hopefully near long term goal would be to allow other property owners to run this.
That's true.
And we can take a cut of, since we're providing the resources and development time to create these creations that they can run on their property, we could allow them to use our content and they can host it.
So essentially making the API public for anyone to use and deploy on their own plot of land.
What does the API entail? It's just like everything crunched together?
All the cool stuff that we create. Meaning like
everything.
Yeah. Or one of them or all of them or a combination or.
But it's like all the code you put into creating a game just like chunked together. So is that what it is?
Yeah.
API?
Yeah, and then you can run it on anybody's property. Like they can host that code and then they're running it. And then whatever monetization aspects that are, within that, we'll code it where we get a cut of it.
Licensing fee.
Yeah.
Royalties, basically.
Yeah, pay as you go.
How would you go about? There's no legal infrastructure for this, is there?
Well, there's no need for legal infrastructure.
Oh, horse shit,
it's all smart contracts, dude.
Oh, the smart contracts.
Yeah.
Ooh, you're bringing in the smart contracts.
Yeah, of course.
Shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever made one?
Well, somebody's going to have to learn how to do Solidity.
That's like litigation, ain't it? That's like
no.
Not litigation, but
it's like a different language.
No. Like as far as like it's like signing like an NDS. No.
NDA?
Like a non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. But not really. It's like a patent right in a way. If you create like this game in Decentraland, is that what you're saying? Kind of like patent the concept a little bit. So
we make it easier for someone else to deploy it on their own plot of land. But what that means is you'll have to pay some licensing fee in order to.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's some kind of like. Yeah, like you said, a contract you have to sign or something.
It's a contract, yeah.
Okay.
It's a smart contract. So
it's similar to renting. Like if these property owners can rent their land and you can run stuff like build on top of their property, then
you're essentially renting code.
Yeah, we're renting code. Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll be able to provide. Yeah, because we're speculators at the moment for how successful Decentraland could be or will be. Hopefully,
that brings up a really good idea.
The question is, all these properties, like how many people are actually going to be building on them? Like actually, hiring developers to create stuff.
Let me ask a question for like a brainstorm. What could we build that would allow others, or what tool can we build that other landowners need for value? Like what tool could we deploy for them?
Kind of like how Polymath created like a security token issuance platform just to ease
make something easier for a landowner.
But they did it for like regulatory purposes because it's like hard. If you want to create a security token, there's tons of red tape, right? As far as like regulation.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm asking about. Like the whole purpose is like decentralization, but come on, man, the government's going to come up our ass at some point. Like, this world's creating a fucking online casino district.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, like how long is that going to fly before?
Yeah.
You just saw what happened to Binance, dude.
Yeah.
Binance, like,
They caved.
yeah, I'm pretty sure they've had some huge pressure from the United States, you know, SEC.
Yep.
I don't know if they sent like some spies over there, like put some guns to CZ's head, like, yo, you better shut down the shop. Like, you're not with our Americans. You can't pull off these pump and dumps and shit like that. You know, these trading scams. They're going to do the same thing to Decentraland,
For sure.
I feel like.
Especially if there's a lot of people making money from Decentraland, they're going to come in.
There's going to be a lot. Trust me, dude. Especially casinos and stuff. Because I know, I just showed you ETH Crash.
Yeah.
There's ETHCrash.io. If you go there to that website, you can see that's like a primitive version of like a decentralized
Gambling
app.
Yeah.
Using cryptocurrency. And it's been running for like a couple of years now with no government interference. But
it's still going.
It's a legit way to people to gamble. So it's like you get around the loopholes. If you live in the United States, I don't know how it is in other countries, but every state has their own gambling laws and stuff.
Yep.
Like, I'm not allowed to play online poker apparently because I live in Texas. You know?
Yeah, it's just the question really boils down to what tool could we build for other landowners? Where
That's kind of what I'm saying. Because like what you're saying,
maybe the tool is as simple as accepting mana for a token or accepting mana for something that they build, because they don't have a way to. Well, maybe it's already built in Decentraland.
Yeah, my assumption is that to have stuff, to have cool buildings, cool interactions, cool entertainment on their properties, then they need to run code. So I'm assuming that there's not a whole list of available resources out there to deploy onto their land, except for the built-in editor, creator that Decentraland provides. But most of that, at least in these stages, is static content. So you can just look at it.
Let me give
maybe interact with it barely.
Here's an example. Like, what if we had code that we customize where it'll allow your avatars to have lower gravity in this particular parcel? And we can allow others with an API to use that low gravity, type of gameplay for their plot of land.
Well, what would they do with that if they don't know how to make a game around it?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. Is we got to figure out something that they would need, so that when they use that tool, that we get a cut for using it.
Shit. I don't know, dude.
I think it's kind of crazy because I think it's all about the buildings, the creations that they'll physically host on their properties. So it's going to be something to the builder like that. That Decentraland provides. It has to be like, because if we have a jukebox that outputs music based on mana, and if we have a vending machine that spits out something based on mana, like they that's still just code. And if these people don't know how to deploy code, then they'll need an easier way to do it. So if we give them a way to align, place this one here, and then give me the code that I just need to deploy, and that's it. So you just spit out the finalized plot content, and then they just deploy it. So I think it's something along those lines.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, I hope you're right, so that you can make like a killing and shit, make a ton of money off of this concept. But what I think is what actually is going to happen is most of those people who don't have the resources or the know-how, the ability to do all this stuff, they're just going to wait it out for Decentraland to incorporate all these improvements, which they've been doing.
Yeah, true.
They're just waiting for those builders, and they have a roadmap in place. Right now we're in the Bronze Age, apparently. Eventually we'll be in the Silver Age and the Golden Age, the Silicon Age, or whatever. I think most people will just wait it out. So I think you guys as like an actual developing team, the thing to do is just build like the most badass shit you could build
as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Just put out like the most awesome experience and like game. It's unique to you. You don't want no one else to, you be greedy about it type thing. You know what I mean? So that when people come by, they see the plot and they see like this awesome game. Nobody else, they can't get that experience from anyone else.
Yep.
You'll make a killing that way. I think.
Wait, which goes back to another idea that we had, which was like a shooting game where in the property you can like buy weapons.
I've talked about this. I love this concept.
Just because so it's like a turret defense game within Decentraland.
And it could be zombies coming at
Should we be
you.
saying all this?
Yeah, we can. I mean, it's difficult to deploy.
It's all about execution. So
Oscar has no worries. Like, nobody's going to touch my shit. He already knows.
Can't out execute me.
Yeah, if somebody builds it before us, congratulations. You know,
That's true, right? Like,
We'll go play.
Yeah, we'll go play.
We'll spend some mana.
There's nothing wrong with some healthy competition too, right?
Yeah.
But dude.
So think about a cooperative
Community.
monster takedown game.
Fuck yeah. Tower defense.
Decentraland. Tower defense.
But not just like you playing by yourself with a bunch of...
Yeah, you would play with hundreds of others in real time.
which is fucking crazy. I mean, at the beginning, it might be like some crappy looking thing, but it'll still be fun.
Yeah, the gameplay will be there, but it may not look as cool.
But if you extrapolate down the line 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, imagine like the same...
Yeah.
I mean, they make games like this today, just like an MMO experience.
That's right.
You know, like a 40-man raid in WoW taking down a world boss.
There you
which
go.
is like an epic experience because I've done that.
There you go.
Feels great.
There you go.
You know, but...
And it'll drop some NFTs.
The difference is, you kill this boss, you're not getting some pixels. You're getting some fucking...
some
Hard
NFTs.
cash, baby. Hopefully you get some cash out of it. You know?
Either that or assets. We'll see.
Yeah. Something valuable.
Yeah.
We know. Something valuable is going to come out of this. You know what I mean? Out of this time you put into...
Dude, that's going to crash Ethereum.
What do you mean? The network?
Yeah.
Hopefully,
It's like
I said 10, 5, 10 years, 15 years from now, hopefully they fucking solve
that's true.
scalability by then. If not, it's over. Crypto's over. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, and then I guess you're gonna post up a link to the Discord so people can interact.
So we'll make the Discord public and we'll allow you to click on what Oscar has already built for the game, and you'll be able to see kind of what we're talking about. How it doesn't look like we're using the builder at all, which is kind of the point, and everything's completely custom and built.
Yeah, and before the Decentraland has actually launched, the beta gets released, then we'll be updating that same link that's provided on our channel.
Yeah, that's true. So it'll be continuously updated. So as soon as you refresh the page, you'll see all the new updates. It's pretty cool. And that's how everyone's going to be playing Decentraland, right? It's through the browser.
Mm-hmm. Initially, yeah.
Nice.
And supposedly they are, because I hear alternate stories where VR experience isn't going to be part of the design. Yeah. But then other people are mentioning that it is. So
yeah, I think the end game everybody has in mind is this is going to be a VR experience. But right now we're not at that point in time of the technological history curve. I don't know what the fuck to call it. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, it just takes a faster computer and then it takes hardware.
The hardware shit still.
Yeah.
I'm super happy that it's not a forced VR experience because it would be limited.
Can you transition? What would it take for you to transition into like a VR? Like a whole different language, or what is it?
My first thought is the avatar that they showed. It's all in a connected character, and if you watch any YouTube videos about any VR experiences, most of it is like separate arms and separate no face, torso. And it's a floating
head.
Yeah, there's not a completely connected character. So
it's true.
So yeah.
But we've seen that VR chat, and they have connected characters, but it's the only thing you control in that game is your hands. So
what do you mean?
Like you can manipulate the fingers in that game.
Yeah,
but
your
it has a full
body
avatar
too. I mean, you can move around. I'm not exactly sure how you play the game.
Well, yeah,
you can play games. You could do shooting stuff.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some. It's not like some Call of Duty experience or nothing like that, but it's like...
Yeah, in my opinion, I think VR games take a lot more processing power. So it's just you're raising the bar on like who can play, and you don't want to do that. You want to lower the bar.
Yeah,
true.
And it's not all about like Decentraland's not all about video games and like gaming.
True,
right?
it's not.
That's something Maddie this for some just like to talk about that.
That's
kind
the
of
thing.
Shit.
It looks like a game, but it's not a game.
No,
that's the thing.
That's why I told you to watch kinds of stuff. I told you to watch that scene out of fucking Wreck-It Ralph 2, dude. Like that's
which scene is that?
Like when they first enter the internet, they go down some cord, and then they just drop into the internet.
Yeah.
And it's not surrounded by video games. It's surrounded by Amazon.
Yeah.
eBay, like fucking Snapchat and shit. Twitter. There's like little birds floating around and shit in the tree. Tweets. That's what it's about. It's about, like I said on Maddie's podcast, it's like the internet visualized. Like we're not gonna just click on websites and see like 2D shit on screen. We're gonna get into the internet and converse with like
Yeah, so essentially
merchants
you'll
and
be able
stuff.
to walk into a virtual Apple store,
Exactly.
and buy an iPhone.
You don't have to go to the fucking mall.
And-
Yeah, you don't have to.
And yeah, the creators of like the CEOs of these companies could be walking around in
Hell
these
yeah.
virtual experience, and
CEO?
you can
Yeah,
Why not?
potentially
be
talk
safe.
to them.
Why not?
right,
Yeah,
Why the fuck not?
dude. That's a great idea.
yeah. Imagine
That's
Steve
what
Jobs.
I think. That's what it is.
Visiting Steve Jobs' virtual.
I mean, just look at the map. Like half of it's the fashion district.
Yeah,
That's not a video game. That's just going to be a bunch of stores. People are just going to literally build like stores.
Yeah, virtual
And they're going to have
stores.
clothing brands on display.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll be able to actually
Purchase real
them.
clothes.
Yeah,
from
like
there.
if you like it, hopefully it's like displayed accurately to like what it really looks like in our dimension.
Yeah,
To the point like, ooh, let me put this on my avatar or something like that.
yeah,
See how it looks. And maybe you can like customize your avatar to like your actual body dimensions.
yeah.
So you can get like perfect fitting clothes. You know what I mean?
Interesting, yeah.
There's actually nothing like that on the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that would be fucking
They're getting
dope.
closer and closer, but
Yeah.
I don't know if anything.
Something like that would facilitate it, and it would be great.
It's all these thoughts are reminding me of Black Mirror, and
Everyone tells me
I
that.
recently started watching.
Have you seen all the seasons?
Only saw the first season, and even that has virtual world, and
yeah.
like craziness going
That's
on.
the whole point of that show is like really trip you out. Like
yeah,
what
it's
we're
real
becoming.
enough to be convincing, but there's some sci-fi elements to it that are like kind of creepy.
Yeah, we call it sci-fi just because we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
but it's like
for
we're
sure.
headed there. It's supposed to like kind of like I think that's why it's called Black Mirrors. Like we're looking into a mirror. It's like it's not pretty.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows, but yeah, the Black Mirror is like your phone is a
Oh,
Black
it's
Mirror.
the phone, yeah.
And your computer is a
That's
Black
what-
Mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. So basically, the digital
That's deep,
experience
man.
and how
It is
craziness.
deep. That show's deep as fuck, dude. It's
Yeah.
like not. I don't know. It's sad, man. Is it sad? I don't know. You tell me, because I'm more resistant towards technology. You guys seem to embrace the fuck out of it.
Well, I think it's an indicator of what's to come if we're not careful.
Careful how.
I think it's discussions that need to be had.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
agree.
the discussion that you always like to bring up about Westworld.
Yeah. Have I asked you this question?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
You're asking a lot of
I
questions.
talked about it with my girlfriend. It was interesting conversations.
What's the
occurred.
I'll ask you the question. All right, man.
All right.
Is it cheating if you have sex with have you seen Westworld?
I saw the first episode. That's it.
Okay.
But I get the premise.
Those characters, those robots
in a theme park,
that are convincingly human robots.
as human can look.
Yeah,
With
this
no
is,
biology though.
No biology, they're all robots, yeah.
Okay.
Is it
Manufactured.
cheating?
If you fuck one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
But they're like,
would you let your girlfriend go off and go?
And get slammed
Attend.
by a robot.
oh God. Oh man, for some reason that seems so much worse.
Worse than
I
cheating.
don't know why.
Worse than actual cheating.
No, that seems so much worse. Like a girl cheating with a male robot than a male cheating with a female robot. I don't know why.
Why is that worse?
I don't know. It just does. It's just because like I feel like the male appendage is so much more customizable than the female sexual appendage. You know what I mean? It's like,
But what does the customization have to do with anything?
because dude, you can just like if the girl really wanted to, he's like, let's 2x how big this dude's dick is. You know what I mean? But like the dude doesn't care. It's like, just give me a robot pussy. I'm happy, dude. I don't give a fuck. But anyways, is it cheating?
Yeah.
I don't think so. No,
It's not.
it's not. There's no soul connection there. As gay as it sounds, but like sex is like it's from like, not the mechanical nature of sex. God
Yeah.
damn, that's a tough question. Yeah,
Yeah.
the mechanical act of sex is just kind of like
Yeah, it's just sensory overload, basically.
yeah, it's like the same shit as like just beating off and just squirting it out. but damn, but these robots are like really human, like
Yeah,
right? Like
they're pretty human.
Their AI is like so advanced, like you
Yeah.
can't even tell the difference.
Yeah. It'll be hard to tell the difference.
I still say no.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, technically, they're not cheating because it's not a human being, so it's just like a sex toy. It's
Well,
Exactly, it's a super advanced sex toy.
Yeah,
Or
my
sex
thoughts
doll.
exactly.
Yeah.
What did your girlfriend say about it?
The conversation went in all kinds of crazy directions, but it's like if you're I think the conclusion was like if your significant other allows you to go to a strip club, then going and attending one of these places is like similar. Obviously depends on what you do and what they're okay with, but the general conclusion is like whatever they're okay with, they're like it's not cheating. So
yeah, I think so. There is an ultimate answer to this, and I think it's if your significant other is okay with it, then it's not cheating. If it's not okay, then it is.
So cheating itself is subjective.
It's subjective, yeah.
It's true. Like people are down for open relationships and stuff these days. Like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know. But
I think these drinks are getting to us because this conversation got crazy.
It's all right though. This is that's an interesting question.
Deep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With technology.
You got to watch Westworld though. I know. I'm telling you to watch all these shows.
Dude, yeah.
It's an important one.
Is it? I mean, is there only like one season?
Just because
there's 2 to 3.
2 to 3. Okay.
I guess the closer to the technological age that we're in right now,
the more relevant these questions are.
Yeah, the further we get, the closer that is to the near future. I guess the more important is to have those conversations. I guess that's where Black Mirror.
But it's kind of like, is it?
Its value comes from.
We have these conversations, but can we do anything to alter what's going to happen?
Well, I think we can set like an example or a consensus. Come to a consensus on whether or not this is
But consensus
reasonable.
among who? Like who's talking about this? Just
what the most relevant things that are going on right now is like Amazon and how they treat their employees and
I've
how
heard of that.
these employees feel like they're being treated like robots. But
which I'm sure like Amazon wishes they were.
They were.
It's like fuck, I wish these people were robots.
The crazy part is that I mean, Amazon, as soon as they can automate their job, like they're going to do it.
Out of there.
So
out of there.
Like an individual disliking their job because they feel like a robot, like you could potentially not have any job. Like that's the alternative. I'm not condoning what Amazon does with their employees, but yeah, these are conversations that are important to have.
Incentive structure. If the incentive is to create the highest profit margin you possibly can, and it ultimately means treating your employees like crap because it gives you a higher profit margin, then that's the game that we're playing.
This has always existed.
It's been like that since day one.
Since slavery.
Yeah.
Forever.
It's all about profit.
Yeah. If somebody comes up with like a nice idea to capitalize and like make money, it's always at someone else's expense.
Yep.
For sure.
And it's really up to the governments to regulate, these new brand new industries, but governments are so slow to react. It takes a while.
Yeah. That's why we like Andrew Yang to a certain degree. I mean, he's talking about this stuff, complete automation, and what are people going to do when everything's pretty much automated?
Yeah, I was telling Will that I drove to the opposite sides of one of the largest cities in a robo taxi. Basically, I was behind the wheel, but it drove me like 97% of like a multiple, like almost a 200-mile trip. So yeah, this automation is coming, and no matter if we like it or not. So what are we gonna, what are the resolutions, surrounding all these job losses and stuff like that?
See, so everyone I've seen where I've talked to about Andrew Yang since like I first found out about him, they always bring up the fact like there's been multiple revolutions as far as technology goes, and we've always figured out a way to adapt.
Oh, for sure, and we will.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's like split in half. That's like the optimistic view.
No, I mean that's humans' primary adaptive
capability, right? We always figure something out.
We
right?
always figure it out.
Yeah, like right now we like to sound the alarm bells and maybe paint like a picture that's like worse than it actually will be.
Yeah,
doom and gloom. It's like, oh my God, robots are coming.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like it's probably going to be the best thing humanity's ever done for itself. It's like we're going to unshackle ourselves from the 9-to-5 responsibilities to keep this bitch going, to keep this engine churning.
Trading labor for the ability to live a good life.
But then what the fuck are we going to do with all our time? That's
the thing. Well, you've seen that movie In Time.
Decentraland. I had those thoughts too. Yeah, if we could like monetize gaming, why not just spend all your day just gaming?
Yeah, it could be
making money.
I mean, think about it. It's being done right now. People in Twitch streams, YouTube channels on games, they're monetizing gaming.
People communicating over social media, like that's the interaction.
That's voices, right? They want you can earn a valuable token for your opinions, basically.
Somebody's going to make a living in Decentraland just making digital assets like T-shirts and other wearable avatar, costumes. I mean, that's how somebody's
somebody's gonna be like a legit teacher. Like they have a university set
Oh, hell
for
yeah, that's true.
Decentraland. I don't see a world where like teachers start losing jobs, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Will they?
No. I mean,
Well, you can record a video and teach a whole bunch of people with a video.
Exactly.
So
You might make way
Well, not
more
only
than like
that-
a regular teacher salary doing that. You know?
Not only that, AI.
Oh shit.
That's,
we see all the time. Like teaching
that's what
sucks.
a robotaxi is, AI.
Yeah.
Let's say like something like Khan Academy gets like widely adopted, you know, like that Khan Academy method of teaching where teachers don't have to stand in front of class and like have like each teacher has their own teaching methods and stuff. That's stupid.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
There could just be like you know, somebody puts out a curriculum, but the child goes at his own pace at home.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I
In
mean,
VR.
the AI could learn how
you go.
how you learn, and then it'll provide content based on the format that you learn. Like
We should watch this video. I saw something in VR chat. We should watch this and see what you think. It's actually, you might not like it, but it's like the first pastor in VR chat, and he's baptizing people in VR chat. Dude, don't give me that face, Will.
Dude.
Hear me out.
Why are we doing this?
Because it's a good example. It's just some guy. He instead of reaching out to like his local community as a pastor, he's reaching out to a global community gaming. And so you
That's
extrapolate
innovative.
that to a teacher or anybody. There it is.
Oh, this is it?
Yeah. We can watch.
Question.
Whoa. Gotta turn that
At
down.
some churches they have like a dress code, right? You know,
There you go.
it's on Sunday. You
Sorry for everyone's ears that just fucking ruptured.
nice slacks, and you show up to church. In VR church, is there like an avatar dress code? Like, would someone kind of like not wearing pants like this not be allowed? Or
I'm
is
wearing
this
pants right
accepted?
now in real life.
See, these are like
How long have
VR
you
chat
been
people
doing,
just chatting.
baptisms in VR.
We did our first one.
This is the pastor.
let's see, probably a year ago. Actually, one of the gals that did get baptized, she has a condition where she can't even leave the home. So
There you go.
we were
That's
able to
useful
baptize
for
her,
people
and when
who
she was
were
coming out of the
disabled.
water, she was just bawling.
But I think
crying
instead of
because
being
she never thought
baptized,
she'd
you can
have
go to
that.
school.
I know,
Yeah, 'cause she's
Willis.
stuck at home.
Come on, hear me out.
I'm
Just
not
watch it.
bound.
Learn some
I can't even
constructive
imagine what it'd be like.
Come
knowledge.
on.
Church. She comes because she was in a wheelchair. So her office comes in a wheelchair. Anyways, she tried to go to the physical world, and one church was like, "You're in a wheelchair because you don't have enough faith." And I was like, if that was uttered by someone
fucked up, right?
like on earth, like someone actually thought those words and spoke it, and to you, like you're sitting there and saying that in a wheelchair, like it was just mind blowing. Like I just wouldn't have ever even thought that. Another guy was like, he was a heroin addict. He just got out of a halfway house, and he went to a local church where the halfway house was, and they kicked him out. I mean, he wasn't like causing problems. He just looked like a recovering addict. And so, and I'm like, man, I think Jesus would be freaking out because the church is supposed to be a place of healing and hope and a spiritual hospital, if you will. And the guy with the heroin addict, he's still struggling with some things. But hey, that doesn't matter, man. You just come hang out. We're just a small little VR church doing our thing. And a couple newspapers wrote about it, and it caused a little bit of a stir, because it was the first of its kind.
So what platform is this on?
But,
VR
so
chat? It's like
that was
a-
just
Oh,
wherever I
VR
go,
chat.
that's
It's an actual
the
VR game.
Fundamental conversation I have
you
with
know,
people,
not just chat?
particularly pastors and like church leaders.
I mean, they're chatting.
They get really,
They're chatting with their little, they put on their
Yeah.
little headsets, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Enter this world.
That are like, when their kids start playing video games, and they're like, "You're gonna rot your brain." Do you think it's like they're like they just have to get in
So
touch with
so
it?
this character that's speaking right
I think
now
that's a big part of
sounds
it.
like a
There's
dude, but
It's got a female
it's an
character,
anime,
right?
Yeah.
Anime chick.
female anime chick. Yeah.
That's the beauty of this VR chat platform. You can customize your identity. You don't have to be like,
Yeah, you don't even have to be human.
exactly. You could be
Some
Pooh
people-
Yeah,
Bear.
the-
That guy's a Pooh Bear.
yeah, the other
or Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Without any pants on.
Relationships in VR. And I think that's the crux of their argument or their confusion. And I'm like, man, some of my closest friends are.
I guess you can fast forward to the baptism part. It's probably like,
Yeah,
see it.
skip around.
Go forward more.
And with that, and
No, like
authenticity,
up,
we can just
forward.
be authentic.
There you go. He's like nearing the water
Race
right there.
and day. Don't be discouraged.
See, he's actually standing in water
It's just
with
a
a
part of life that's just
with the baptee.
human. But baptism is a declaration that you're going to walk in a new path. In
So
a new
this
direction,
VR
have a
world
new
was probably
attitude
created
and
by
a new
somebody, right? I mean, like
It's a company.
this
beautiful thing.
this plot of
Over
land,
here, maybe
this,
with this
this
little more
virtual
I've never played it, but
scene.
I think it's literally like
And so
I don't know.
Just a second, I'm gonna
There's a bunch of shit you could do in this game, which is kind of cool. This is. I hope Decentraland gets to this point.
Yourself into the water.
But you can see this. There's already you see plots of land that they're churches. They're building churches in Decentraland.
Oh, really?
There's like a big mosque. There's a
wow.
Christian zone. There's a Muslim
You could
zone.
monetize that.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They have access to the world.
Exactly.
It's not local access anymore.
Exactly.
Love that's inside your spirit. God wants you to know that you are.
Look,
a child of
she's
God.
underwater.
All your mistakes,
She's
all your
dying.
failures, all your regrets, all those
He
things.
asked. He
but
asked
not
the girl.
VR world.
He asked the VR girl.
So you're being
VR girl.
Immersed completely.
To immerse herself under this VR water, symbolizing her baptism, while he kind of like gives like a Christian prayer.
That's something that Decentraland doesn't have. Crouching.
Yeah,
true.
You can jump, but right, you can't crouch.
And of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. So Drumsy, rise up again into new life to signify.
Even made the sound of
She's born again.
This guy's like really role playing right now.
Is your baptism. And I
And
think we should
this has
So is this still the
800,000
dude?
views.
Oh, there's
Wow.
the banana guy.
Good job.
Is it?
I got blood rushing to my head when I got up. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
so it's
Oh
still
yeah,
the dude.
that's right. So he was actually crouching in the real world in order
Yeah.
to do that.
Oh.
I feel like I'm
His
out
legs
of
are
right,
probably
'cause it's
tired.
VR.
I feel
Yeah.
like I just had an experience,
'Cause they're-
even though I was
they
just
can move their
crouching
mouth.
for like 10, 15,
Yeah,
like,
it's really good.
30 seconds. I was crouching for 30 seconds. It feels like it was much longer. Wow.
And that's what VR is supposed to provide,
I'd love
like
to remember.
He's
that
trolling.
immersive experience.
He's showing.
Yeah.
Angle. Oh, and the water's gone.
All right, that's the end of that.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why we just watched that. I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot too.
What's the point of that? I forgot what that was supposed to like emphasize. Like,
I guess
Experiences that
that is not necessarily gameplay.
exactly.
Like you can do other things
yes.
besides playing games on
yes,
Decentraland.
somebody mentioned a therapy session on
Yeah, yeah.
on
Imagine
Decentraland.
building a
yoga or something.
Yeah,
like a
therapy session.
psychological sitting area where you speak to an actual
Yeah, an actual therapist.
Not a bad idea.
No, it's good because
And
that
it's-
therapist
Therapy's
is
expensive as fuck.
yeah, and it's you just need a computer.
yeah,
you
and,
talk to a
and
real
if you
human.
were a therapist to provide this service to the whole internet,
Yeah.
you know, and you request some mana for it, obviously charge for your services.
Yeah, you can. If you want to
You can hold
monetize it, if you want
business
to do it out of
from
the
home.
wholesomeness of your own heart, it's up to you. But the option's always there, like, you know.
And
forking
I guess
some
another
cash.
tier of questions like who's legitimized as a therapist? Like it could be anybody, but if you provide those services and it's valuable to somebody, then
well, you have to have a
wouldn't they pay you?
license. You have to be a licensed
But
therapist.
like on the internet, like
Even then, I think that you could get sued. That's the problem.
advertising as a therapist, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude, there's going to be so much. Dude, we're figuring out like an actual world.
Life coach.
Yeah.
That's the
But
alternative.
without any rules. That's the thing. This doesn't belong to the United States. This doesn't belong to
yeah, that's the
China.
whole point.
It belongs to Decentraland. It's up to the community to govern itself and like come up with the rules and stuff. What's right, what's not right. Is there going to be a police force or something in there to like enforce these rules we come up with? I don't know.
No, negative.
No.
True,
Nah.
but that's what the Agora voting system
Yeah.
that Decentraland provides.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be
code
able
is
to
the law.
figure out what is
Well,
what is
from
law,
what I
what
heard,
isn't.
like District X at the beginning of this project was supposed to be like a legit hardcore, fucking like adult themed district.
Yeah.
like you could actually have like,
But they're pulling out too. No pun intended.
exactly.
What do you mean? They're
it's
not going to do it anymore? Or
I
what?
guess not.
not they don't want it to be that hardcore.
Oh,
like
the
you know,
creators don't want it to be that hardcore.
the community, I guess. It's like
Yeah, it has to be the community. The creators can't really do anything.
no, they don't say. They have no say.
Yeah.
It's like whoever came up with the idea.
Here's
for
the
just-
thing. They need to. Why? Because the porn industry has been the industry that pushes along technology.
Yeah, first
Wait, they
would
need
be
to
porn,
what?
second would
They
be
need to be
games.
dirty.
Yeah.
They need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
I-
should.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause then-
It'll only help them.
To police it, like, oh, that's a nipple over there,
That's my
so that
point.
one's not allowed.
Yeah.
That's my point. If they create like if we're saying now that like you know we can't be that dirty in order for like children to come into our world and stuff, I think that's why they want to do it, like ease up on the porn
Yeah.
is to kind of like
they do need some age restrictions like that should be built into the code. Like
well, maybe not. You know, like it's just as easy for a 8-year-old, 9-year-old just to go to a porn site. These all they say is agree. I'm 18, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe like when you enter that.
Would you let your kids on Decentraland if that's the case? That's where I'm sure all these parents that are a part of Decentraland are rising up to
but
like
it's literally like
limit it in some
would you
format.
let your kid on the internet? Because
that's
as soon as your kid is able to type, you can find porn. They'll find porn, trust me. And it's like you can't police that, I don't think.
Yeah,
it'll be
tough. I mean, there are ways
days,
like the iOS app you can restrict it to certain websites, but I mean, there's ways around it.
Of course, this is the internet.
Yeah.
And kids are smarter than their parents easily.
Yeah, I mean, you remember you when you were young, right? Fucking,
well, it was hard. It was hard because the only thing we had were magazines.
Oh, you're a little bit older than me. What do you?
I mean, come on. It's like the internet wasn't as readily accessible.
It was only dial-up at that time. And
dial-up.
And
you had to wait like 20 minutes to load a picture.
That could access the internet at a time. So if it was a household with one computer, then
yeah, we definitely didn't have it. Like we couldn't access porn.
There wasn't any Decentraland hardcore
and then
virtual worlds going on.
Yeah.
And then once you had access to the internet, I mean, there were other priorities like playing video games.
True. Depends on how fucking horny you were as a kid, I guess. Depends what your priorities were.
Yeah.
You know?
So Bitcoin is up.
Oh yeah, so we broke past 9,000, and it's hanging around 9,200
That's
right
true.
now.
That's true. We've been calling for a correction now for like weeks. It's never happened, dude. It just keeps trucking along.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll see like a nice fat dip, but it always recovers and stabilizes, and then breaks new all-time highs for the year.
Yeah, and you meant like one of you guys mentioned that the Bitcoin is up because of Binance or something like that. Everybody's
that's the speculation because Binance is
blocking U.S.
customers in the next couple months, I think.
Yeah, so the deadline is September 30th, and I had heard somewhere that if you don't move your coins, it's going to be sent to the country that...
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it seems odd.
I think I just saw something like they'll allow you to withdraw.
Yeah,
your funds, but you cannot make any deposits or trade if you're a United States citizen.
Not too bad.
Well,
but you have to find alternate platforms for all the currencies.
The thing that gives Binance its value is because it's huge pool of altcoins to trade around.
Yep.
And it's a reliable exchange. You know, there's other exchanges out there that have equally large pools, but they are sketchy as fuck.
But Binance is coming out with Binance US, right?
That's what they said.
Yeah, so Binance is having a separate platform for U.S. customers.
And I'm sure they'll have it completed by the time they switch over. So
I would think so. I'm sure it's ready right now.
I don't know. They haven't said anything about that. They just said they're going to do it.
That's true. That's true.
You never know. Because then not only do they have to just build an exchange, then they have to like register with United States securities law,
Yeah.
That, if you know anything about United States, law, dude, shit takes a while to get anything done here. It might be a year or two before they get anything.
All our trades are going to be sort of tracked to a certain degree, like kind of like Coinbase does it.
Exactly like Coinbase. Yeah. Exactly like Coinbase.
Which could not be the such worst thing in the world because you'll be able to do your taxes a lot more easier.
Exactly. Like they'll probably send out like a nice form at the end of the year for your taxes. You no longer we have to use like third-party software applications and stuff to do it.
That's what we do for our company, for our clients that utilize our payments platform.
Yeah, you issue what document?
1099K.
1099K?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so we'll be receiving similar documents from Binance
Which
US.
you get if you're a stock investor,
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to have to do that because if they just ignore the U.S. market, that's like 50% of the revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And what business would do that?
Yeah.
Cut out half of their income. Like, oh, we're just going to fuck it.
Yeah.
Nah. They gotta come in.
Yeah, if they just play by the rules, they're gonna make money. Rules.
Well, maybe not. Maybe this might give enough time for like Coinbase to make a play and like take over.
True.
Yeah, because another question I had earlier was, where can you get some mana? So obviously Binance, you can get mana.
True.
The currency that Decentraland uses.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you want to participate,
but Coinbase doesn't provide that.
No,
I don't think so. No.
Mm-mm.
But they could one day. But yeah, if you want to buy it today, you gotta. You go to CoinMarketCap, you find the mana token, and then you you find out which markets it's listed on.
Yeah, and I think there's like very few on there. How did you get your mana?
Look at it.
Yeah,
I got it from Binance.
Okay, Binance.
I just only mess with Binance these days, you know. But I think now that this rule is coming into play, you know, more than likely I'll become a hodler. You know what I mean? By the next 3 months, I'll find my long-term plays and just set my positions and just hold for the long term from now on.
Yeah, true.
Store everything on my ledger and just call it a day. That's most likely what I'll end up doing. Just hit markets right there. So there it is.
Yeah, so
The highest volumes on Ether Flyer. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on here.
Yeah, okay, Exchange, top
Binance is number
BTC.
10
That's number 5.
or 5. What is it? Oh. Okay.
It's just the mana BTC pairing has the 5th most volume. So yeah, there's a lot of exchanges. See, like all those exchanges. There's KuCoin down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I keep hearing about that.
that's like the next one beneath Binance. You know, I think KuCoin is going to get a huge influx in volume. Obviously, a lot of U.S. customers will go there.
So for Bitcoin, the next resistance is closer to 10,000. So that's another price to keep an eye on.
Yeah, just look out for that.
Man, when is it ever going to go down? Like the hell?
I don't know, man.
This is weird.
For Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were expecting like a reasonable correction to like 6,000 or 7,000, but it dips.
I thought this was the trough already. Like it's slow, increase to the.
Right now, it's pretty much an all-time high for the year.
Yeah, Will's theory is like because the halving is coming next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the price is supposed to like take little incremental growth until that point, and then like
and then
the hype is gone, stuff like that. But
before the halving, the price is going to dip, or after the halving,
something like that.
it's going to dip to like 6,000 or 7,000.
But it's like, and my thinking is, I don't know. I feel like that's already priced in. Everyone knows the halving's coming. It's not like all of a sudden everyone's like, oh shit, halving's 3 months away. Let's start buying now. Why the fuck? If you knew the halving was coming, and why would you wait till then to start buying and not be buying now? That's why I think it's priced
it's a year
in.
away.
Still, it's not like they're going to run Super Bowl ads about the happening or anything like that. No one else is going to find out about this, I feel like. Everyone who is aware of this happening rhythmic cycle, whatever you want to call it, this natural rhythm to Bitcoin.
It's like Litecoin. Litecoin is halving in about 50 days.
Exactly. That's why.
And now it's pumping.
Not anymore, dude. Have you looked at it lately?
It's still at 130. It's
it could be just
137.
correcting. You could just be correcting. Yeah. It could
the happening information is not completely dispersed obviously to the general person. So once they learn about why didn't I learn about this way?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. It's not gonna be some type of main.
Which is good for anybody that's holding on to Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
So this is Litecoin for the past 3 months.
I mean, Litecoin's been on a mega tear. It's up like 600% since like March or something.
Yeah,
which is nice. We'll see, man.
Damn.
We'll see. But yeah, like you said, we just weren't expecting to go this parabolic for like so long.
Especially BTC. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, there's a lot of like uncertainty going on in the world too. If you haven't noticed, there's something else that's been going up. Gold.
Oh, really?
Gold's been going up. Gold has broken through its resistance point too.
I think
Gold's
it's
on its
because
way
it's
up.
being compared to Bitcoin and it's getting a lot of exposure.
What? Don't you mean Bitcoin's being compared to gold? You're fucking crazy, dude. My point is, there's a lot of like
gold is useless.
There's a lot of global tension with like ships are exploding and for no fucking
People
reason.
are transferring their
Presidents are
currencies
blaming it.
into gold. Yeah.
There's a lot of like global
to protect against
with Trump.
Yeah,
he's stirring up a lot of shit out there for some fucking reason. I think he wants another war.
Maybe he's holding gold.
Oh, he's definitely holding gold. But you know who's holding gold? The United States is holding the most of it. So it'd be good for a war, But my point is just the whole China tariffs. I don't know if you saw this ship that was bombed.
No.
There's a Japanese ship was bombed and Trump just blamed Iran with like no support or evidence, and everyone's like, nah, dude, it wasn't Iran. There's even a video of them like showing like them not involved or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Trump's going like straight gung ho, like it's Iran, trust me. Like these are like Bush tactics, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary. It's kind of like a prelude to some type of conflict in the future. So naturally, what happens?
They're moving into gold.
There's some people speculating that they need to start buying more gold, right? Because like another war is approaching, or Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's been going up,
Yeah, that's true.
which is good. This is what Bitcoin's supposed to be, a store of value.
Yeah.
We're seeing it live, happening in front of our eyes. I mean, that's all I got. I can't think of anything else.
No,
Why
I
Bitcoin
think.
would be going up like this?
Yeah, I think you're right. It can't all be the happening. It can't
No,
be.
it can't all be that.
Like you can't have a parabolic run up
For the happening, like big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, a lot of volumes coming out of China. So like these Chinese residents are probably freaking out about these tariffs.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at these charts, like China's like military spending is through the roof lately. Like they're trying to catch up to the United States. There's like something big on the verge. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking.
And if anyone's going to adopt Bitcoin, it's the Chinese. These are like way ahead of us. I think their like population is way more educated on this stuff than the United States.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not over there, but I'm just.
But they're still
guessing.
limited by what the government allows. So and
True.
there's a lot of protests going on over there right now.
Yeah, in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Yeah.
I have no idea what about though.
Like crazy amounts of people.
Yeah. Yeah, man. The whole city's on the streets.
It's crazy how they don't like trample each other. Like there's no.
Yeah. It's,
I don't know if there's like a
it feels
consensus
safe
of what
over there.
yeah.
It feels safe over there.
Meaning what?
in terms of how the protesters like treat each other.
Yeah.
Well, why would they? They're not mad at each other. They're mad at the government, right?
Yeah. True.
But it could be like, oh, like there's tear gas coming at me. Let me,
Just fucking
yeah,
free for all.
Yeah, exactly.
Every man for himself. That's
Yeah,
true.
because protests in the United
saw-
States turns into looting. So that's kind of what I'm referring
I saw a
to.
video, like, I think like a tear gas can came down to the street and everybody ran over with water bottles to put it out. They all, like 50 dudes scrambled to that can, like,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
yeah, dude, that's some hardcore community right there.
Yeah. What a hack.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a fucking effective method to
Yeah, I
stop the
didn't know
smoke.
either.
Just like get that bitch wet and it won't pop. That's pretty
and
cool.
the fact that the government tries to like stop it, like you're gonna stop all these people, like makes no
Yeah.
sense.
And they're the only ones with guns too.
Exactly. Sucks, right?
Yeah.
If it gets to the point where like the military like goes Venezuela on them, they're fucked.
True.
Yeah, I saw a video speaking about Venezuela on the inflationary rate on Venezuela. And so I think in the 90s, it had a reasonable inflation rate, kind of like matching the U.S. And all of a sudden, it started ramping up to like in the thousands % inflation. And it just like surpassed the world in miles by like the number of inflation, like percentage it had compared to everybody else. And so it takes like so many thousands of, bolivars to buy, piece of gum.
So that brings the question that we haven't talked about it yet, the whole Facebook currency thing,
Yes.
the Libra.
Yeah.
Like
a currency?
we've heard whispers about it, I guess. I kind of been blowing it off for some reason.
Yeah. And so the infrastructure is that Facebook is requiring a $10 million investment in order to like host a node.
Well, it's not like they're asking people to come in, like it's like a bounty or something. They're partnering with legit
Yeah.
Silicon Valley Fortune 500 corporations, Visa,
Visa, MasterCard.
Uber, Lyft, fucking PayPal, Venmo. These are huge conglomerates, and I guess their purpose is I'm speculating here because I haven't read their white paper or anything. How are they going to operate?
Yeah.
From what they've said so far, all of these companies they partner up with, they're not just investing $10 million. They're positioning themselves to be nodes within the network.
Correct. Yeah.
And to be like governance, they're going to govern the network itself. So to me, it sounds like EOS infrastructure, but instead of 21, like right now they have around 20, but they have plans to get up to 100. So it's like it's a broader network, but it's still all Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? It's still all within the United States. There's nothing decentralized about that.
They can collude as they do.
They will
right now.
collude.
Yeah.
100% they will. They got Visa and MasterCard. And they got all the payment infrastructure companies partnering up together.
What we need to find out is how they monetize this. That will tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Because
think
it's a stable coin, right?
exactly. Yeah. This isn't like some new, because it's not scarce. They could just print. It's like Tether. It's like a new Tether.
Explain what a stable coin is.
Well, the first stable coin was like Tether in the market. It was created by an exchange pretty much. The purpose of it is to provide the crypto market a fiat backed current or coin or token. So it's like always $1.
Always 1-to-1 to $1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're buying Bitcoin and you're tired of all this volatility, you just exchange it for tethers, which is it's like you're cashing out essentially, but without actually doing it.
Here's the chart for Tether. So it fluctuates within plus or minus 1 penny.
Yeah.
And it just stays at $1 the whole time. And so whenever you're trading, let's say you're buying Ethereum, what you would do is you sell all your Ethereum for Tether and then hold your Tether until it's another good time to buy something else. And then you switch that coin for Tether.
But the problem with this is like a lot of allegations that Tether was just printing, because essentially it's like you're printing $1 and then because they claim they're backed by like, you know, they have all the money in reserve.
Right. All the dollars,
to back up how many Tether they're printing.
Yeah, so technically the market cap for Tether is 3.4 billion, which is up it's up 600 million since
they got caught.
Since the all-time high. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been caught doing a lot of shady shit. I think they had like an $800 million loss or something like that.
That's right.
Because they got seized by some government agency and then they used Tether to like cover that loss or something.
That's right.
Which is like imaginary money pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like they're floating themselves $800 million, which is crazy.
And so the speculation is that Tether was just creating new Tethers without it being backed by fiat currency.
And not only that they're pumping the price of Bitcoin in 2017. So like a lot of that bull market was fueled by these imaginary money.
But they've been audited and investigated, and they haven't really found a whole lot other than that $800 million scandal, which is not a small thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
But even then, it didn't really affect the market at all.
But it's not finished yet. You know, they're still looking if they influence the price of Bitcoin or not. But we might be past the like no return zone. You know, like we're already a few years past that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Facebook essentially wants to do the same thing. I don't think there's so much concern with like cryptocurrencies though. They're more like they want people to exchange like their new Libra coin for dollars. So like they want people to, in order for them to do that, they need to use Facebook or whatever Facebook app, like WhatsApp. Don't they own WhatsApp?
Yeah, but think of it this way. If you wanted to send a friend money, you would deposit, let's say $20 into your Facebook app, which would then, it would use the Libra network to actually send that, and then you can extract the $20, you know.
But I don't think the Facebook's goal is to make money off of that. I just think they want people to be
locked in
into their network. That's the whole purpose. They want people, like, you have to be on Facebook again, because a lot of people are leaving Facebook.
But there's got to be incentive for all these companies to participate. There's got to be. Maybe more access to...
more transactions for them. It's like now they're more...
So fees, basically.
Well, they get more fees because like I said, MasterCard, Visa, all of them are on board. Yeah. So they're getting more global exposure. Maybe there's a lot of people who don't have access to these.
That's true. So like over 2 billion users in Facebook. They're all over the world. Now you can send money like literally all over the world. All you need is
internet access. Yeah. You don't need no more banks.
Yeah, no more banks. Well, that makes sense.
Exactly.
I think the value is going to be by Mark Zuckerberg trying to slowly step away from an ad-based, monetization network. So they might not charge per transaction, but they will all offer all these alternate services of multiple kinds that they'll, try to request money from you in the form of these.
This is like Silicon Valley's like attempt to like just take over the financial markets because they have access to like so much data, they have so many users, more than banks.
Yeah, true.
Globally. Because to sign up for a social network is nothing compared to getting bank access. You know what I mean? If you're like from a third world country, I'm saying.
For sure. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and like everybody has Facebook. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah, your social account is your bank account now.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
that's fucked up. I mean, I don't know.
I wouldn't use it. I hate Facebook. I wouldn't use it.
But people will use it.
They will use it.
Yeah,
they will.
Because like it's going to make things easier. Like, but what kind of regulations are they facing? That's what I'm wondering. Apparently, they've already talked to like all the government. They wouldn't do this if they didn't think it wouldn't, get shut down.
Yeah, if I had $10 million, I'd run a Libra node.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
That's
not much.
You're gonna be moving money all over the world.
So what's their responsibility? They have no, but that's why they got giant corporations. They even have Coinbase on board.
Yeah.
So now their responsibility is to create these big nodes. Like, right, they need a bunch of servers.
Yeah.
Because the transaction throughput is going to be insane, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's going gonna have to be super scalable. I'm really interested to read that white paper.
I wonder what the use case is. Just sending each other money?
That's it. It's currency. It's an online currency. It's what Bitcoin wanted to be, but like a Silicon Valley centralized version of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're just using their already existing network
base.
effect. Their network effect that they've spent the last 20 years creating. You know what I mean?
True.
But Bitcoin slowly getting.
Yeah.
But it's also a way for any company to, request money from you instead of like asking for actual money in exchange for their services.
Yeah.
Now they can do like microtransactions of, these coins. So
that's true. So
it's
Walmart,
a new market basically.
Best Buy, all these companies online will accept Facebooks.
I mean, they already have eBay on board.
Shit.
I mean, how long before Amazon's next?
Yeah.
How long? If eBay's on board, Amazon's be like, shit, I need in on this.
Yeah.
Unless they make their own coin. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the start of like something kind of crazy. Like if you really start to get deep into it, we talked about this.
This is the big companies profiting again.
Of course.
Like there's nothing. How do we get into this?
No, fuck, we don't. We don't. It's not decentralized.
Services
Boycott Libra.
Same thing. It's another currency.
It's just a digital currency that they run and they own and they benefit from, but we ultimately will spend and use just because it makes our lives a little easier. Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, it's interesting. But a lot of people speculating like,
yeah, it's different than what Decentraland is doing. It's like it's
exactly
providing a platform for you.
It's not a cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
it's not decentralized. There's nothing.
Yeah,
it's not even remotely close to what Bitcoin is intended to be.
See, I still think there's a market for what Facebook is trying to pull off, but in a decentralized way. And I think Bitcoin, it's going to be as a store of value. So it's not the coin that you use to make purchases, but there's got to be a different decentralized currency that merchants accept other than the Facebooks.
Yeah. But
just so that we have some kind of, so we know that there's no control over our money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's happening with gold, like you mentioned, meaning people are avoiding that control because of these economic times that we're in that could be adjusted by governments going after governments. So
I don't know, man.
Countries going after countries.
Well, we'll see. It's coming out very soon.
Yeah,
it's crazy how fast they just announced like the name like yesterday or something or a couple days ago, and it's coming out like they're test netting it at least in like the next few days. So they've been working on this, dude. I mean, obviously.
I'm going to read up to see what their monetization strategy is, because that's going to tell us everything. And I think it's just, transaction fees.
I don't know. We'll see. Apparently, it's supposed to save money on transaction fees, like all cryptocurrencies do, right? It eliminates that.
Oh yeah, the transaction fees are going to be much smaller than the percentage.
Yeah, right. Because you're not swiping any credit cards anymore.
Correct. Yeah, you're not using that network, which is probably the reason why Visa and MasterCard, went in. They didn't want to just disappear.
Exactly. So there's that. Fuck. I had something on my mind, but it's gone.
I'm super interested in that article that I sent you guys.
Oh yeah, Satoshi. Hold on, let me. Or
I'm not aware of
Slatoshi, whatever the hell.
Yeah, I'm not aware of other potential suspects that are Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin. But this one seems pretty.
What about Craig Wright? Have you looked into him at all?
Yeah, that's why I can't really say too much. I just saw this article, read it, and it's.
Well, Craig Wright's like the guy. He's like literally screaming off the rafters that he is Satoshi. He even created his own cryptocurrency called Satoshi Vision.
Yeah, Satoshi Vision, Bitcoin SV.
And he literally has a cult following of people who believes he's Satoshi without actually providing any hard, solid proof.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know. Will seems convinced now. He might have some.
Well, I mean,
if not Satoshi, then he's like highly.
He was involved early in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
and apparently he was working with this guy who he says who has encrypted over 1 million Bitcoin worth into this hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently, according to this article, this guy named Satoshi knows the password to decrypt the private keys that are in this hard drive, which the private keys are holding over 1 million worth of BTC. And but Craig is about to enter into this this court date. I think in the next 10 days or so.
Yeah,
he's going to go to court, and the court is going to ask him to provide some evidence of him being involved early in Bitcoin. And so Craig, of course, what he's saying is that he doesn't know the password to decrypt this private key. That's why he's not able to spend any of the Bitcoin. But he says that he worked with the guy who encrypted that hard drive, and that guy is Soloshi
or Solachi or something. There's
LaRue.
a T in there somewhere.
Solothi.
Shi. Solachi.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. Just the T is silent.
The T is silent. So, I mean, Craig Wright, I guess he might have been involved in early Bitcoin. It's hard to know. The easiest way to know, and the only way to know, is someone using the private keys to those million Bitcoins, which have never been used before.
This guy is interesting in particular, though, because he started out as like a wholesome programmer, right?
Yeah, a wholesome programmer, and then apparently he broke bad.
Yeah.
He was a drug lord.
But apparently he has like similar interests in like programming languages that Satoshi had.
He built this encryption code called TrueCrypt.
There's that.
Which that's the algorithm that's being used to encrypt the hard drive that we're just talking about.
Okay.
And so this guy Soloshi, he was real big into crypto. He
not necessarily crypto.
Not crypto, sorry.
Just cryptography, right? Yeah.
Cryptography.
This is like probably around 2008, 2009 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, he just got into like cocaine and shit. He just became a huge drug trafficker.
And they speculate in this article is that the reason why he created Bitcoin is so that he can, launder money.
True.
But all this is just speculation. Not until someone can decrypt his hard drive. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, Craig Wright has a bunch of miners running a brute force code on this hard drive to decrypt it. So eventually he'll do it. It's going to take a lot of computing power and a lot of time. That's the only thing.
Yeah, and the other thing that lined up is that I think he's in jail right now.
So
for being a drug runner.
Yeah.
And I guess he got locked up around the same time, right? That Bitcoin came out?
Yep.
Or his activity in Bitcoin stopped, I guess. So like everyone's speculating because he got locked up, his activity stopped. So
right.
I don't know, just like chronologically things line up and stuff. And
yeah, there's some that line up, but there's other things that don't. I mean, when he was really deep into selling drugs, Bitcoin, he was like communicating on bitcointalk.org.
Exactly. Probably,
So
pull up the article. I posted it on the Discord, and you'll see like the top 10 list of why it was suspected that he's the Satoshi Nakamoto, creator of Bitcoin. It's on Discord.
Okay. Yeah, so the top 10 reasons.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's just an easy list.
10 clues?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Satoshi and Soloshi monikers, they're too similar. Both were programmers familiar with C++. That could be anybody. Both had a strong interest in cryptography and privacy. There's a lot of people with that. Number 4, both were wary of authority. I mean, a lot of people are. Both had an interest in online gambling. Bitcoin's initial code had a poker client included. That's something interesting. Apparently, Bitcoin's initial code had a client to support poker games. So there's...
Which to me is like...
Yeah.
That I like that the most because... that gives Satoshi like a human element.
True.
You know what I mean? Nobody knows if Satoshi was God himself or an alien.
By the
or
fact
something.
that it had a poker client means that Satoshi is not this benevolent alien who dropped Bitcoin on us and just left.
Like, maybe he really didn't really care about society. He just had a gambling addiction.
Yeah, maybe.
Wanted a way around it, which is great. It gives him like some humanity, right?
Yeah. And number 6, both were aware of a difficulty with traditional payment systems. So this guy Soloshi, on account of the illegal prescription drug racket he was running. Prescription drug racket.
He's a crazy fuck. That's for sure.
And then number 7, Satoshi's spelling and language means analyze, color, defense, bloody, hard. Is consistent with Rhodesian LaRose. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yes, Satoshi Nakamoto's, the way he describes stuff in his white paper and the way that this guy writes, which is Paul LaRue, aka Soloshi.
Paul
Soloshi.
LaRue. Number 8, Satoshi disappeared in early 2011 to move on to other things around the time that LaRue was transitioning from software genius to cartel boss. And then number 9, with tens of millions of dollars in cash, LaRoe would have had no need to cash out his BTC once the price began rising.
Because he's a drug lord.
Because drug lord.
Yeah, but I guess. Yeah, whatever.
At the time in 2011, it was still worth pennies. So
yeah, exactly.
Why would you cash that out? Like, what are you going to get? If anyone could have hidden wallets containing 1 million BTC, it would have been the creator of disk encryption software TrueCrypt, which is Paul LaRoe, which is AKA Soloshi. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, they're trying to align some stuff, but, you know, is this real evidence? This wouldn't hold up in court.
No, but it's a nice, sexy story somebody from Hollywood could take over.
Oh, for sure.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked thinking about it. Like
ultimately, you know,
but should we even be digging? Does it even matter?
Does it matter? It probably doesn't anymore, but it's interesting to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, but do we really want to find out? I keep saying, the mystique is the best part of Bitcoin.
I think so too.
I love that shit. When I first heard about Bitcoin, I was learning about it.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way.
Exactly. I was like, this is something out of a fucking fairy tale, or this is like some shit I don't know.
That you write in a book.
Yeah. Like
you see a movie about.
Yeah. So it's like, let's keep it this way.
Yeah.
We don't want to find out it's like some doucher, you know.
See, that's the thing. We may never find out. I mean, if you're really Satoshi, it's better to keep the password private.
Yeah.
Not spend the Bitcoin.
But it's nice to have conspiracy theories, though. They're always a nice, juicy conspiracy theory is always fun.
Yeah. Ultimately, we probably find out who Satoshi is, and it's going to be some guy.
Some doucher.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then the value would go down, most likely.
You think so? It might.
It might.
Drastically, who knows how much, but something. Yeah.
I wonder what would happen to the price of Bitcoin if you just found out who he was. That'd be interesting to find out.
Dude, what if he airdropped that million Bitcoin?
Airdropped it.
That's
a nuke, dude. That's a nuke. Airdrop. That would just every order or buy order in the order book would get filled. It's just gone.
Yeah.
Price would go to zero if he sold all his Bitcoin.
Well, it
would get bought up real quick.
What I mean airdrop, I mean give it out to all Bitcoin users.
Nah, he wouldn't do that.
Satoshi would.
How do you know? He's a fucking gambler, dude. He's a degenerate just like me.
Isn't that the same thing as burning it?
No,
if you gave an equal amount to every single,
I guess it is.
Because it's just inflation, but it's the same.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same exact amount of in accordance to every.
But
every
ultimately,
other
there's ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So
it doesn't matter.
And there's so many coins that are inaccessible that, including this batch. But yeah, man, there's obviously there's a lot of stories behind Satoshi, and Craig Wright is going to be in court on June 28th. So we're at least going to find something out by then.
Look out for that. Put that in the calendar.
And then sometime before the end of this month, supposedly, Decentraland is going to open up.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening this month.
That's true. Decentraland is a biggie.
Yeah, and Tesla is about to have their record quarter, having delivered Tesla
really?
vehicles. Mm-hmm.
1,000 a day or something like that.
1,000 a day.
Yeah, just a month ago they were struggling.
Yeah,
exactly.
Freaking out.
These have to be like fake.
Yeah.
Fake.
Pump and dumps.
Exactly. For someone to dump the price so they can load up their bags, dude. Yeah, Tesla is not something you want to short. In the long run.
Definitely not.
Only because everyone right now is paying attention to their electric car part, but Tesla's more than just a car company. I feel
they're disrupting so many industries that are stagnant, and
the solar roofing industry, like the whole housing and batteries to your house, everything. That's just the beginning. Who the fuck knows what else? Elon's not done.
Yeah.
He already set that precedent. Like, we're not just a car company. We're an energy company.
I predict he's going to make electric planes now after that.
He's already said that. Yeah. Well, he has an idea for one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why can't he? He's making fucking big rigs
and rockets.
Well, that's a different company.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about Tesla, as a company, as a stock value. Like, that's not something you want to short, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Totally agree.
But
and E3 passed without a single mention of blockchain. I thought they would have mentioned something, some indie game on the blockchain. Nothing.
That's true, huh?
So they're completely unaware. That means the mass population is completely unaware.
Of course. They showed other like crappy 2D looking games I saw.
Yeah.
You know, there's
just
better games that are built on blockchain that look.
It's just a waste of time. Like after seeing Decentraland and other games like Axie Infinity, like there's actual value in playing those games.
Yeah.
Like I just can't see games the same nowadays.
Are blockchain games like a threat to like the traditional gaming industry?
No, it's not a threat. I think it's a tool in addition to traditional gaming that they can take advantage of, but they're not. And it's probably because things are slow and, you know, you have to spend gas.
Well, and then in their sense, it's like things are good right now. Why break a...
I don't know, man.
A good thing,
Google,
you know?
Google Stadia.
Google Stadia is like
about
changing the game.
Disrupt slightly.
Disrupt like for who?
Cloud gaming.
Yeah, I saw that. Like streaming gaming and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you want a high quality experience, you get like a console, like what Xbox and
because you're still going to deal with
PlayStation
latency
and
and
continue with
things like that.
But anybody else, like the broader general public that doesn't really have access to high dollar hardware, will be able to utilize this cloud
and Google's
streaming.
the only company that can really pull this off. But yeah, man, there's no blockchain mention. That surprised me. We did get to see Keanu Reeves, that sexy man.
That blew everyone's mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Elon Musk was in E3.
Oh yeah, Elon showed up at E3. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, he announced like games that are going to be running on his on Tesla.
Yeah,
inside
he's
the
got
car.
Cuphead running in Tesla.
Yeah,
That can't be safe.
Well, you know I play well park, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Somebody
and then like Fallout Shelter.
Oh yeah, Fallout was gonna be also.
See, but look, dude, I'm underwhelmed. Like with traditional gaming, is what I'm saying.
well,
At E3.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not alone in this. I looked at a bunch of people reviewing E3. Everyone's like, dude,
it's the same
gaming
games.
sucks.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this, like the gaming industry is topped out, dude. Like, they can't do anything new, really. Stadia, big deal. They're streaming the same piles of shit that we're playing on console.
That's
pretty
right.
much.
That's
Nothing
right.
is changing about the games itself.
Yeah.
And that's what people
That's
love.
what I'm saying. I think blockchain would change that a lot.
Yeah, blockchain and VR, like those two. VR is, I don't know, man.
VR is just
We need
hardware
something,
intensive.
man.
I mean, that's the only thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's barely starting.
There's a reason why.
The new hardware that's coming out.
There's a reason why the next generation has regressed. You know what I mean? Like they're more thrilled by block games than hardcore graphic intensive games.
Community based games.
That's the new shit.
Yeah.
Community stuff. The open world sandbox worlds, and not these RPGs, strategy games. That shit don't sell no more. People.
Shit. If you put blockchain on an RPG,
That's exactly what I'm saying. It needs to be something more immersive. That's where gaming is headed. You know.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, but also there's mobile games are huge, just because of the convenience.
Just
I
the
think.
access. Yeah.
Yeah, you can always have something cool to play when you're just like chilling in the airport or something. But
Yeah.
again,
that's the only format of game these days, mobile only.
Yeah, to the point where Blizzard's like making mobile games and stuff. But like that's not that innovative. It's just transferring shit game to your phone.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm a gamer, so I'm like a little biased. You know, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. Like video games don't have the same allure, the same.
I think it's the age thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's not them.
I'm still waiting on VR to like stick, and now with what is it? The augmented reality.
Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
That's the new
augmented
stuff.
reality. That's
Or mixed reality with what is it?
Talking about like Pokemon Go.
Well, mixed reality by
Microsoft
Leap
or Leap Motion.
Not Leap Motion, but Magic Leap.
Magic Leap. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that like a kid platform or something?
Well, it's these things that glasses that you put on, and you can see through the glasses like the real world, but it's
layers.
adding, these
Shit that's not there.
virtual stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's not virtual, right? Or is it?
It is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
virtual 3D objects
Okay.
on top of the real world.
Can you fuck with them? Interact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it detects your hand and kind of where your hand is.
That's cool.
So I mean, it is cool, but it's like over $1,000 for the headset.
Okay, so it's just early.
It's way early.
Yeah, it's only like a developer platform.
kit. Yeah.
So these people know, like, there's a direction we're headed,
But they have,
and they're trying.
That's why I like Decentraland a lot.
I think billions.
Oh, they got billions in
investment.
They raised billions of dollars.
Who did?
Magic Leap.
Oh, like a
Leap.
Kickstarter or something?
Well, not a Kickstarter. It was more like private raise.
Yeah, private investors.
And they're in Florida.
They're in Florida.
Yeah.
I never
But
heard
that's
of
why
them.
I think Decentraland, I think it's going to be key. It's going to be the spark that ignites throughout the gaming industry.
I fucking hope so. If not the gaming industry, it's just a new industry spawning on itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, the
The way I
gaming
think of it-
industry can take advantage of the blockchain concept.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think it's going to be kind of like cryptocurrencies. Just how like Facebook is now joining the party.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like an indie movement on Decentraland
For
of
sure.
like developers who don't work for these giant corporations.
Absolutely.
To like let their creativity flow, right? And they're going to create their own shit. And they'll have opportunities to crowdfund through cryptocurrencies, right? Through
That's right.
ICOs, through
ICOs.
ICOs.
Yeah.
They'll be able to launch their own ICO project, crowdfunding,
Yep.
And maybe they could sell NFTs of
Yeah,
other
there's already
ICOs and stuff.
tokens for one of these estates, like the huge ones. Well, I think it was like the Dragon City. I think they have their
So
own
they have
tokens.
their own token?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Stuff like
Interesting.
that.
Yeah.
So it's going to start out like that. Like I said, it's going to be an indie movement. They're going to come up with some dope shit, and people are eventually going to catch on. Like the gaming companies, just how like Facebook caught on. Like shit,
Yeah.
we need to get in this shit, and then the big companies are going to try and take over. So it's going to be like a battle, Like eventually Blizzard or Activision is going to come out with their own version of this,
Dude,
like 2 or 3
imagine.
years down the line.
WoW 3.0.
Yeah, see, they probably will crush it.
Dude.
If they did something like that, but they probably wouldn't. I don't know what they'll do, but they'll come in once like the indie guys, spark the movement. But
Man, AAA developers on blockchain.
it's just a new platform. It's like the new Steam, pretty much.
Yeah.
Imagine, dude, Steam has come a long way since like the
Yes, it did.
90s, dude. It was like they had great games, but
And we're
Steam
not-
is huge.
Yeah, we're not talking about Steam it. We're talking
No,
about Steam,
Valve, Steam Games,
Yeah.
Valve.
Yeah,
Huge
now
corporation
they're creating their own hardware for VR, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Exactly.
Pretty
Dude, they have so much money because they have
best.
so many successful games on their platform. So that's how I see Decentraland. It's like the start. It's like Steam. It's like kickstarting Steam right now, virtual.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
let's
guess we'll leave it at that.
yeah, let's call it. So we covered Decentraland. We're getting into developing our own build in
Hell yeah.
Decentraland.
And but at the beginning, all I wanted to do was build like a virtual podcast
It's true.
Right?
We want a virtual studio.
studio. So like, if you're listening basically through your headset. That's it. You don't really see shit.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to, you can create an avatar on Decentraland, and you could find our coordinates to our little online studio.
and watch us
And you
live.
could become an actual audience member. And if you wanted, you could like literally throw shit at us
tomatoes.
or something. If you really like what we're saying. If you like what we're saying, you could like throw hearts at us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
That'd
funny.
be dope. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then
But,
like you can even like hold up like a sign that says a question.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can type out some questions. You can do voice
Or you can
chat, so
actually
we can
talk
take a
to us.
live question, on
Exactly.
the air.
Or you could just be a dick and just like show us your ass or something. I don't know. Just moon us the whole time. It doesn't matter. It's the whole point. It's free and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and then we're not on there, then you can rent out the space and
Yeah, it's
host another
inevitably.
podcast.
Or you could have a concert there or something. I don't know. We
Yeah.
haven't even built it. It's just what's in my mind.
Yeah.
But we kind of transitioned from that. We're like, I mean, we can still do it. But,
Yeah, we can still do it.
But right now we're kind of like shit.
Yeah, we're so
Good game.
as soon as it launches, we're gonna see kind of like the scope of the game and how everything is built.
Yeah.
and see how many developers are actually out there.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to know. I mean, you join the Discord, there's some conversations, but you can't really know what's actually being in development.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we get into the beta, which we all signed up for, we'll be able to join the game and see what Decentraland actually looks like.
So we'll be deeply involved in this project probably for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So more than likely we'll be talking about it a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and you'll be able to visit our plot of lands and
Yeah.
interact with us and the stuff that we create. So get your
Exactly.
feedback and continue
so
improving it.
we'll post the Discord link so you can join our Discord and conversate with us and actually take a look at what we built so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's it. I think that covers kind of like the main topic for today.
Yeah, I've been slow on blogging, so I think we'll list a little bit too.
Yeah.
But we'll keep. I don't know. I'll put something out there soon.
There's a lot of stuff that I want to write about. I haven't gotten around to it.
Decentraland itself. There's so much you could write about Decentraland.
Easily.
We haven't even got to yet.
That's another thing, a blog post on kind of our current build in Decentraland.
Exactly.
Just so we can have it like recorded.
All those little, like every little,
like update.
Every little advancement you make, you should like take a picture, like a snapshot,
like
just so
GIF,
you kind of get like a flow of like creation. You know what I mean?
Like a GIF.
Maybe if you want to put like how to build on Decentraland type something like that.
And
then that would
we'll
be
definitely need to be creating some of that because the information out there at the moment is pretty limited. So
it's sparse.
Exactly.
And we're the early days for developers, so we can help the community and help it grow.
Lesson of this week is never underestimate the community in something. Right? If there's a crowd of people following something, there's a reason.
Yeah.
That's a reason enough to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Decentraland, just like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Just like the next coin that you think is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's always worth investigating.
Yeah. And when a bunch of billionaires get together and try and like steal your mojo, you know, that's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's right. When a bunch of billionaires get together and to push a Libra coin
and to like push us out the way.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Yeah. Be wary.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that covers everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for listening.
See ya.
All right.
Later.
Peace. Thank you for listening to the Block Runner podcast. Make sure you visit our website, theblockrunner.com, and sign up to stay up to date on the latest in crypto. Also, reach out to us on Twitter @theblockrunner.